What's the matter with you? Are you feeling guilty? I'm not.
Stop it!
You act like you hate me sometimes. I'm confused. Please talk to me.
Go away, damn bitch!
Everything is ready, my darling. Do not be afraid. Soon we'll be together again.
This sandwich tastes as dry as hell.
Hello and welcome to Hello, This is the Doom Show. I am Richard. Folks, put down your crucifix, put down your prayer books, and pick up your autograph book because Gary Hill is here. Hello, Gary.
Hello, I'm on the Doom Show,
Yay!
as the theme music goes on the promo, or no, hello, this is the Doom Show. I'm sorry,
Hello, this is the Doom Show.
I'm a terrible singer. Unless I have alcohol in me, so
That's when you get good.
Karaoke is lit, then, people. Okay.
I'll dig out the old theme song, get it out of the mothballs. Speaking of big balls, we got the big balls of Damiano Damiani with Amityville II, The Possession from 1982. So Gary picked this one. I hadn't seen this in like 20 years. It's been so long. And holy shit.
I said Richard could pick something, exponentially more sleazy, I'm sure, but when I pick some sleaze that people know that I just was introduced to probably about maybe 4 months ago, I took the plunge into this movie. So I said, okay, let's talk about it,
Nice. We've been on a bit of a satanic tear on this show lately. Mark and I talked about Demon Witch Child from Spain. Dirk and I talked about The Antichrist from 1974. And now we're getting to Amityville 2. I found a wonderful TV spot for the movie. I'm going to play it right here. Get your appetite wet for your siblings. Let's do this.
The night of February 5th, 1976, George and Kathleen Lutz and their 3 children fled their home in Amityville, New York, and never returned. For them, the horror was over. But how did it really begin? What happened in the world's most famous haunted house long before the Lutz family ever moved in? What was the original evil that possessed all who came to live in it?
Anthony, I'm scared.
The end of the Amityville horror was just the beginning. Now, Amityville II, The Possession, coming this fall from Filmways Pictures.
I found the very interesting VHS tape, the Embassy Home Entertainment VHS tape, and I've got the plot from the back of it. It goes a little something like this. A framework for fright with no room for the timid. The mystery of Amityville continues in this suspenseful tale of the supernatural. Amityville 2 awakens your wildest fears when a dream house becomes a nightmare. One lone family wages a life and death battle against the bizarre and terrifying demons that have come to possess not just their home, but their very lives. It's homemade horror all the way. Stars Burt Young and Rutanya Alda. Color 110 minutes. So folks, we're going to spoil the beats of this movie, not the entire movie. And also there's You're going to want to watch this anyway, even if we spoil it. As I said, directed by Damiano Damiani, an Italian person. And I love when Italian filmmakers go to America and Mexico to make a film. Don't know how that works.
The doubly cultured there. It's awesome. See?
Man, it's a triple threat.
Don't mix the gravy, with the salsa there. It ain't the same thing.
That's right. It's that sauce. This is written by Tommy Lee Wallace of frickin' Halloween 2 fame. And also someone named Hans Holzer, which is an Austrian. So throw a little Austria into the international mix. This guy would go on to write all of the Amityville movies. Well, no, not all of them, but he'd go on to write Amityville Curse. Oh, it's the novel. Oh, wow. Anyway, this also had some script doctoring by Dardano Sacchetti. Holy crap. Let's just get every Italian horror movie guy, just writer of things like Demons, 1990, The Bronx Warriors. Holy crap. Love it. As for cast, we've got James Olsen from The Andromeda Strain playing Father Adamski. We got Burt Young. Oh my God. Burt Young has like 168 credits on IMDb. And I don't remember seeing him that often, so I think I messed up. I haven't been watching enough Burt Young.
6 of them are Rocky, and one of them is Back to School, so there's that,
And then there's like random other shit. Where he plays a hothead. God bless him. He plays Anthony Montelli, the patriarch of his family, is moving into this house. His wife, which he married way, way above his station. He married the wild-eyed Retania Alda. She's Dolores Montelli. I love Retania Alda from Girls' Night Out, which was the same year as this. We've got Jack Magner, which I love that name, as the son, the gun-toting son of a bitch, Sonny. This guy did nothing. He did like 2 things and then bailed. This was his finest hour. Or maybe as he played young serviceman in Firestarter. Good for him. Next up is Diane Franklin, who plays Patricia Montelli. Diane Franklin is the reason why there's more trivia than we can ever talk about in one episode. She loves to talk about this movie.
She's in Terror Vision, Gary's favorites.
Oh, man.
So there's that, my favorite Diane Franklin role.
I love that movie. It's been so long. She's also in Off Dead and The Last American Virgin, which I was so shocked when I found out that was a remake of the Lemon Popsicle from those Golden Globus boys. And then in a glorified cameo, we got Andrew Prine. I love Andrew Prine. He plays Father Tom. He's Father Adamski's buddy. Has almost nothing to do in this movie. He was in The Eliminators, which I love very much. And he was in The Evil from 1978, which I highly recommend. Speaking of Satan. And just one more person here that I want to talk about. We got Leonard Cimino, who plays the Chancellor. I was mistaking him for some other position in the church. 62 credits. I love this guy. He was in Dune, Monster Squad, and Waterworld. Boom.
V, the TV show, miniseries.
God, I haven't thought of that ever.
I enjoy his work too. Not German, by the way. Okay, so there's that.
I like how IMDb calls him a veteran little old man Italian character actor. I'm sure he loved that. So the movie starts. We got some La 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 opening credits. This music is by Lilo Schifrin, who, like, one of those guys who's really, really solid, but he doesn't like stick in my brain. I don't remember any of the music from this movie. Like, I know it was good, but it doesn't stick out. I'm getting weird in my old age where if there's no like obvious synthesizer on the soundtrack, like if it's not like played at full volume, I don't notice it. So you gotta be flashy for me, Lilo. After these La 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 opening credits, the Montellis, and within 30 seconds meeting them, the daughter's like, "Daddy's such a creep." Because he's a dick instantly. I love it. Inside the house, while they're unpacking, Mom turns on the sink and blood shoots out, and Britannia Alda, she laughs it off when it turns to water. It's like how Jesus turned water to wine. She's my Jesus who turns blood to water. When she laughs, and she looks completely insane. Like, ah. Then we have a nice meet cute moment between Sonny and Patricia. What is this about, Gary?
Well, I imagine it seems like they're sleeping together in the same bedroom, the same attic bedroom, where you see the iconic Amityville horror windows sticking out, because that's where the demons are, people, right in that attic area. They have this moment to where I forget the line, but he's telling her, she's describing to him certain things about what you only like girls with big boobs and stuff like that. Now, the film's called Amityville with the Possession, and spoiler, Sonny is the possessed, but it seems like, they're in love, like in a non-brother sister way before the possession happens. So it's like setting things up. The beginning part where he pulls up and Papa Matelli is like emasculating his son right when he's introduced. It's like, and him wanting to like lay his sister in being not possessed. Yeah, it just kind of like it sets everything up there, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, their chemistry, those two actors, the chemistry is way too good. You're like, ugh, and it's only gonna get worse.
No nails here. Over.
Isn't it great?
It's all right.
I love it.
You're getting heavy.
Hey, you used to hug me all the time.
That was when you were lighter.
No, that's not because now you're old and snotty.
Well, there is another reason.
What?
You're not my type.
Oh, you like them tall? Big boobs.
That is none of your business. How about you? What's your type?
I like them sensitive, dark, and about this high.
You're ridiculous.
No! Come on, let's get to know the house.
So the one thing I love about this movie is that since it's the sequel, and everyone and their grandmother went and saw the first Amityville, the stuff it's already set up. All the spooky house stuff is already set up. So we have the blood coming out of the faucet. Now we have Mom down in the basement, and a worker comes down and accidentally discovers a little secret panel in the basement. And he points out, like, lady, you've got your very own excrement vault. Not a lot of houses in this area have a poopy vault. So, while he's getting covered in shit, flies everywhere, nonchalant, horrific thing that would cause me to get in the car and never come back and just take the loss on the house. She's menaced by a spooky force. It's just completely crazy. That night at dinner, instantly, this family is so broken. So we've seen some dysfunctionalness, but now a mirror falls over and doesn't even break, and all hell breaks loose. Like, everyone's yelling, everyone's arguing. Dad is just such a fucking asshole. It's insane. Not on his side. Not on Dad's side. And then things get worse when that night there's some knock-knock games and there's no one there. And there's some knock-knock games, there's no one there. And then it's time for some art. Let's talk about arts and crafts. Gary, what happens in the frickin' with the brushes?
After, Papa Matelli busts out the gun that's for home defense, this giant fucking shotgun rifle thing. I'm not a gun person, but it is massive. It's massive.
Yep.
But he comes to the kid's bedroom, and the kids are describing to the father that the brushes, that their paintbrushes have moved on their own and have created this art on the wall. I think it says kill the pig that has like a dragon picture on the wall or something. And my favorite thing about this movie is every time something happens that's unexplained, like there's a part where dishes are being thrown everywhere, he just loses his mind domestically. He just starts beating his family. I mean, this scene right here, he's got the belt, he's beating the little ones, he's punching the wife in the face. I don't endorse this, but he's just like overly violent from possessed things. And this could be that or his control as an Italian house father, because she ain't getting no divorce. This is how this works in Italian people. That if you're Catholic, you're Italian, you don't get divorced no matter how much he beats you. It doesn't matter, And he is getting it in this movie.
Oh my god. It's like straight out of The Godfather. It's so insane. The art is like I think it's supposed to be a pig, but it looks like a dog or a demon, and it says dishonor thy father, kill the pigs or something like that. It's very, very
Yeah, kill the pigs comes later. I'm sorry. Yes.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So they call in Father Adamski because, of course, Dad doesn't want to go to church. Mom and the kids go to church without him. And, Mom begs the priest to come by and bless the house. And when he comes by, just to meet the fam, Dad can't even control himself for strangers. He totally smacks one of the kids in front of a stranger and then, throws the priest out. There's this whole drama of them going to church to get the priest to come back. So while Sonny's alone, he's menaced by an unseen force, or as I wrote, a phantom menace, if you please. Gary, what's going on with Sonny's skin here when he starts getting possessed?
I'm sure this film was done on a budget, but I'd say that the bladder effects of this movie are done very well, because when he's getting all possessed by whatever's roaming around the house with a shotgun, you can see his chest, caving in, and like his arms bubbling up. I put in my notes, it's like he's getting Barbara Hershey'd, which if you've seen The Entity before,
oh yeah,
that's a bad analogy. But you're uncomfortable watching those scenes in The Entity, and I think I'm just as uncomfortable, without the vagina and the breasts, being molested.
Yeah,
watching this kid getting taken by this thing, it's very well done.
Yeah, it's like a showstopper, and the camera work too is completely nuts. Like, they're pulling some Argento shit, flipping and zipping around, getting upside down, and like it's only fitting that this was the same year as Tenebrae, which has the same like crazy camera work going on. This cinematographer is Franco Di Giacomo, who I have seen several things that he shot. Plot of Fear, an excellent giallo. He also shot Who Saw Her Die and, speaking of Argento, Four Flies on Grey Velvet. So this guy knows his shit. And yeah, this sequence fucking rocks. When the family comes home, he's all like, whatever, that was weird. I lost time. I don't even know what time it is. What's going on? And then Gary, we got the most weird, messed up stuff in this movie is Sonny hanging out with his sis, and he says, pose for me. Pretend I'm a famous photographer and you're a famous model. And she buys this shit hook, line, and sinker. And he's like, take your nightgown off. And she does it. And I'm like, is this a dream sequence? What am I witnessing here? Is this? And then, yes, they go for it. And apparently, good for Diane Franklin for fighting, because they wanted her full frontal nude. And she told them to go fuck themselves. She said, I don't care about showing my breasts because I showed them in Last American Virgin, but I'm not getting all naked for you. So she let them film her from behind, and then she let them shoot her from the front, but where she wanted the camera to be. And I'm like, how badass is it? This girl, how young was she when this movie came out? Please God, let her at least be 18. When was she born when this came out? Or before this came out? Okay, thank God. She was like 20 or 19 when this was being filmed. Whew. All right. So, but she stood up to them and like told them to go fuck themselves. And I'm like, that's badass. But yeah, I don't like the incest stuff in this movie. That's not, it's not tenable.
She was kind of all right with this whole situation until, of course, he busts out, hey, look what I found in the laundry. And then she's like, oh, now things are getting weird, Yeah.
God, I thank you. I repressed that. I repressed him like just, yo, got your panties. Fucking crazy. But, and apparently this was a lot more explicit. Like, they did a lot more, and the test audience said, no thank you. But I want to say Damiani fought to keep all this in the movie because he wanted to make the audience as uncomfortable as possible. And that's a win. That's a win-win.
Yes.
Good job.
Goal achieved for sure.
Oh my God. So the priest comes and he blesses the house. And I wrote, bless this mess, this bloody mess. Because as he's waving the scepter wand thingy that, flings the holy water everywhere, it turns to blood and it's flinging this blood all over the place. Now, according to the trivia, if you watch the moment when Mrs. Montelli starts screaming and you advance it frame by frame, there's a subliminal shot of two characters that aren't in the movie that we see anywhere else looking weird. Like a lady with her hair blowing in the wind and a man standing behind her. And I tried to play it frame by frame, but I didn't see shit. So I don't know. But
You know what she was really screaming about, don't you?
what?
That guy got blood on her hardwood floor, and her husband will lose his fucking mind because he got blood on her hardwood
He's
floor.
gonna come home and beat everybody. He's gonna beat the priest too. Man, I hope that some rando person just made that trivia up on IMDb to fool me. But I was totally watching that scene and like friggin' 0.25 speed, looking for this like single shot. I don't know. I love it. So yes, the blood magically disappears. And then the priest, he's instantly convinced they need to exorcise this house. He's like, this shit's fucked up. So he goes to the chancellor, and chancellor's like, no, we're not doing this. And then in waltzes Andrew Prine. And I'm like, oh shit, here we go. This guy's going to be a big character. He's like his buddy, and he's going to be like the one who saves the day at the end of the movie. He's going to be in part 3 and 4. No. Motherfucker just shows up and then leaves and then comes back later real quick. It's great. No idea. I just found Andrew Prine's entrance just magnificent. And then we have a birthday party. I wrote, it's awkward beyond awkwardness. What happens at this birthday party, Gary?
Well, Sonny comes downstairs because his little sister and brother are singing happy birthday to him, and you have to add the look like a monkey outro to it because they're adorable little kids. I have to say that they're adorable little American East Coast kids. And
Yeah.
he's coming down, like he's fucking Eddie Haskell. He's not possessed, and hugging everybody. He's hugging the little sister. He's hugging the little brother. Having a little ha ha ha. Got the trick candle, trying to fool me. Yada yada yada. He's hugging the mother, and then he gets to the sister, and then it gets strange again because in front of the parents and the little brother and little sister, he's just grabbing them buns like nobody's business. And then again,
Oh my God.
he goes to talk to Dad, and Dad has no problem with this. He's just smoking his cigar, like, yep, business as usual,
And what's crazy is that Dad, because he says, I love you, Mom, and Mom is so happy. And then he walks up to Dad, and Dad's like, and like they kind of like almost bump each other's elbows. That's about as much affection as they can show.
It's like how your sister's ass is it firm like your mother's? Is it firm?
I've been curious myself. I know how things work in this family. But like Sonny has never been able to show any affection towards his father, so he's almost in tears just because a moment almost happened between he and his dad. It's fucking horrible. It's so sad. Oh my God. And yes, things get very awkward because the brother and sister have had sex earlier, and she's curious. So while he's staying upstairs, hiding from his own birthday party with a bunch of a-holes from the neighborhood and high school kids, I guess, she goes up to see him, and he basically dumps her by calling her a dirty bitch or something like that. And I'm like, now it's getting worse because now she feels bad. She tries to confess to the priest, but she can't because she's so ashamed, and it's so horrible.
It's because her brother broke up with her. She's very upset by this. She feels very, very rejected,
This family, man. Bless this mess.
It is a big sin.
Don't be afraid.
I went all the way with my friend.
You must resist this temptation. One day, perhaps, you'll meet someone, marry, raise a family. Even if you love him very much, you must resist.
We do not love each other.
You don't love each other. Then this is only a sexual matter?
He does it just to hurt.
Well, to hurt who? Hurt you?
To hurt God.
My child, you shouldn't say that. Now tell me everything from the beginning.
No!
Now the movie goes into hyperdrive shortly after this, where Sonny is just transforming into a monster. So these bladder effects we were talking about have now like just turned him into a goblin of his former self. He's very hard to look at. This makeup is awesome. And I don't know what else these folks worked on that did this makeup, but the same year as this, The Beast Within came out, which also had these bladder effects in him, but like crazy.
Yeah, like his whole head like got so really big. I remember, yeah.
Like his round head becomes like a trapezoid or some shit in that movie.
Yeah, his face is very stretched and he looks like covered like very, very sweaty. It's done all very well, you know.
Oh, so good. All of a sudden, it feels like you think it's a dream because it's a dark and stormy night. Sonny can't take it no more. The voices have been telling him to kill his family this whole time. And so he starts blowing his family away. And you keep waiting for him to sit up screaming from a nightmare. And you're like, okay, no, is this happening? Are we doing this now with an hour left in the movie? Like, what? And then the next thing you know, the priest is waking up from a dream. So you get this false hope that maybe it's not really happening. You know, the little kids get killed, the sister gets killed, dad gets killed.
My favorite part of that sequence is, because the little brother's a little dick apparently, he like sets up the sister to get little sister to get killed next. Like, hey, look, go look over there. And then he's still in the bedroom, of course, you know. I mean, they all die eventually, but he like, hey, you go next, you know.
He had a fleeting instinct for survival, but it got him nowhere. Poor kid. And of course, all the windows have been nailed shut. This is not good. So the next morning, the priest arrives with his buddy in tow, and there's cops everywhere, and everybody's dead except for Sonny. Now we get this whole thing where he's like, I don't remember. The cops take him away, and we're now into the law and order section of the film. What is going on with this law and order bullshit?
Well, you have what they have in many Italian films. I think Stage Fright has like 3 endings.
Yes.
This has the false ending to where you think that, you know, once he kills the family, that somebody's gonna, like the cops or like the priest is gonna walk in on them, and that'll be like the showdown or like the end of the movie. You don't know what's gonna happen next. But instead, you get like this whole the brother was possessed, so we're gonna use that defense in court. And I'm like, that just sounds absurd, you know. But it gets more absurd from there. It's like a plot point this film doesn't need. Like you can hack 10 minutes off this film and like make a different ending because you get to the whole Law and Order stuff, and like it kind of takes you out. And there's a Moses Gunn performance in there that's wasted, and that's a sin to me, you know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you get you get a wasted Moses Gunn, you get a wasted Andrew Prine. That's 2 no-nos to me, you know.
Yeah, Moses Gunn was in Shaft, Rollerball, frickin' it was in a ton of cool shit. Highway to Heaven. All right. No, oh my god, he was in Ninth Configuration. Holy shit. Although, what's his face? Ted Ross has the best mustache in this movie. Ted Ross is another
yes, he does.
Another black actor he was the lion in The Wiz. Holy crap, that's amazing. So yes.
You're speaking my language now, Richard. See?
Oh man, The Wiz is one of the most shrill movies I've ever seen. Like, it made my hackles go up. That movie makes me fucking nervous. It's so crazy.
With Stan Winston effects to the people, you know.
Oh man. Here's your kids' film. But then again, I don't even know if kids were the intended audience. It's crazy.
It's like
Uh,
Return to Oz. It's like the Oz effect. It's Return to Oz. Who do they make that for? Somebody gets fucking terrified. Apparently, there's the lady taking off her heads and switching them out and stuff, and the wheelers. And
man.
oh, come on now,
Yeah, I just revisit. Speaking of freaking disturbing kids films, just revisited The Watcher in the Woods,
There you go.
and it has the deleted scenes with the alien creature, which you have to find those deleted scenes, folks. That's incredible.
I have a Laserdisc copy of Something Wicked This Way Comes Coming, so I'm excited about that.
Love that movie. I like the movie better than the book. The book's okay. Book cannot end. Like, Ray Bradbury had no idea how to stop writing that book. He was so in love with it. The movie is just so much tighter.
Gotcha.
Because Sonny's such a mess in court, they're going to give him electroshock therapy and all this stuff. And the priest is like, he needs to be exorcised. He gets a hard no that he's not allowed to do it. So he concocts a scheme with Moses' gun to get him out of there. So he sneaks him out to take him to the house, or to take him to the church to exorcise him. But it all goes tits up because he can't get Sonny inside the church. So there's a big chase scene back to the Amityville house where the exorcism is going to happen. Gary, tell me about this exorcism.
It's anticlimactic. Put it that way. There's been better ones in other Italian films,
When I watch Exorcist 3, I watch Exorcist 3 in the mindset of teenage me who bought the tape at a ma and pa VHS store that was going out of business. And I got Exorcist 3 for $1. And then I proceeded to watch Exorcist 3 like 18 or 19 times because I only had like 6 movies to my name. And I always accepted the tacked on exorcism part in that movie because it's integrated so well. Let me rephrase that. It's integrated much better than it is this film. This film, it's like, huh? We're doing this now? But also the court scene, it's like, huh? We're doing this now?
Yeah.
Another deleted moment that I've actually seen, stills from is when the priest is looking for Sonny throughout the house in the basement. A bunch of people come out of the shithole that's in the frickin' basement, and you see some of those like ghostly figures coming out, but in this different version that you can see in some of the promotional materials, where there's all these ghosts, like all these hands reaching for the priest and reaching to grab him, and he just holds up the crucifix and like wards off these spirits. And I don't know why that's not in the movie. In the version I'm watching on my old DVD, those freaking ghosts aren't there, and I wish they were. That's so cool.
Yeah, that would have been helpful to move things along, because they make a big deal about the basement, and it's like cavernous. So I mean, they filmed the basement very well. So all these stuff with the hands and the ghosts and stuff, it would add a little something to this anticlimactic exorcism scene.
Yeah, it's those are supposed to be all the lost souls, the people who died in the house that got stuck there. There's a beautiful shot that I forgot to mention where the priest sees the sister, her ghost, in the window of the house, looking very sad because she's trapped there.
And her brother broke up with her the hard way. He shot her with a shotgun, so Hey.
You never forget your first.
Yes.
Yeah. So of course, Sonny starts looking even crazier. His face starts splitting open, and he's trying, like the real Sonny's trying to break his way out of this creature, or something's happening. It's all very grotesque, much like Reagan in The Exorcist, and insert the name of any Exorcist ripoff here. If your Exorcist ripoff is worth a damn, worth its weight in hell damn, then your makeup on your possessee should look fucked up, and it's hard to look at. Because they did a good job on Sonny's face here. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, priest exercises successfully. He barters his own soul and ends up He's the one who's possessed. Andrew Prine is just there to drag Sonny out and send him to fucking jail, where he will spend the rest of his life. And the last thing we see is the priest possessed.
Yeah, that's your fade to black moment for sure. You know, and Sonny's going to jail for killing his family. The Law and Order ending. You know.
Yep.
Sonny, if you can hear me, resist the unclean spirit. Will it to leave your body.
You've decided to do this on your own, without the support of the church. You are disobeying the church. Now you are alone, Adamski.
Flee, evil spirit. Depart from this servant of God.
No!
So some trivia. I don't want to get too carried away, because unlike every other movie we talk about on Hello, This is the Doom Show, this has a shit ton of trivia. I dropped a few of the little alternate version things that were in here. They didn't film in the real house. They filmed in a replica house that was built in New Jersey. Who are the people that are the experts on demonology that are always portrayed in the movies now, in the Insidious movie? Not the Insidious, in the Conjuring movies.
The Warrens.
Yes, I believe the Warrens were consultants on this film as well, because they wanted a paycheck.
Makes sense, you know.
Unsurprisingly, Damiano Damiani spoke little to no English, so he had a translator. Bless his heart.
Yeah. One of my favorite devil endorsements is still who was the guy that was the president of the Church of Satan endorsed evil speak. I was all over that, you know.
Anton LaVey.
There you go.
He was also on The Devil's Reign. So you had little Johnny Travolta getting consulted into Scientology on the set of that film. And then you had the lesser of that evil, which was the Church of Satan was there.
Quality tutelage there, you know, but
when all is said and done, Johnny, maybe you should have gone for Satan, you know, at least Satan will accept you for who you are. Freaking Scientologists will beat the shit out of you.
Both are fine films, though. If you need a reason to watch Evil Speak, just think of Clint Howard soaring in the air with a broadsword and an army of pigs, okay? Come on now.
Oh, man. I remember when I finally started to appreciate him and just love him in everything he does. And it was back-to-back Ice Cream Man and Silent Night, Deadly Night 4.
Yes.
Where he's so sexy in that movie.
just sitting in the orgy with the dick nose on. That's just Clint Howard right there, you know.
Apparently, Burt Young's father died during the filming of this movie, which is very sad. Hopefully, he had a better relationship with his father than his character, you know, has with his family. Let's see anything else. Folks, go to IMDb. There's fucking 300,000 things of trivia in this. But want to talk about Dino De Laurentiis real quick. He is probably one of the more infamous Italian producers. He found quite a lot of success getting productions going all over the world, especially in America. Flash Gordon from 1980 is a big one for me. That's a big movie from my childhood. He was executive producer on frickin' Army of Darkness. Maximum Overdrive, Raw Deal, Silver Bullet. I mean, I love Dino. What a son of a bitch.
Dino had his name in a lot of things. King Kong 76 is a pretty good one, too.
I have still only seen a little bit of that on cable. I've never seen the whole thing. Oh, man, I need to fix that. Yeah, so in 1982, Conan the Barbarian and frickin' Halloween 3.
It's quite the resume, for sure. Quite the resume.
So getting things back to even more Italian, just because I'm nerding out here, the production design on this movie was by a little guy named, well, he might have been a big guy, I'm not sure, Pier Luigi Basile, or Basile. He was a production designer on Fulci's Don't Torture a Duckling and another shitty Exorcist ripoff. I've been making a list of Exorcist ripoffs lately for a little project I'm working on, and he worked on Ring of Darkness, which I know this isn't a video podcast, but Gary can see my face right now.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrible, and I can't wait to watch it again. I'm so excited because, like, 10 or 15 years ago, my brain hadn't been destroyed by movies enough. Like, I hadn't seen Nightmare Weekend. I hadn't seen, The Last Slumber Party. I hadn't seen, like, Sorority House Massacre 3. Movies that just wreck your whole taste. So now I'm looking forward to going back to Ring of Darkness. It's probably going to be great. I hope. But Gary, I want to ask you a question. How do you feel about Amityville II, The Possession?
Well, it's much like the first one, where you get a lot of cues. You get the blood, you get the, stuff moving around. You know what's going to happen pretty much, but you add that Italian tinge to it, with the incest and the weirdness, and it gets real weird. So I can appreciate, them upping their game, if you will, on this film, because I do enjoy the first one. It is a classic for a reason, but this one's just a little bit better because for me, because it amps up everything. Like, hey, I bet you think that a guy brandishing his sister's panties and her feeling slightly uncomfortable is going to be in this movie, but it is, man. And he's like, you know what? We're going to have sex tomorrow too. It's just strange Italian tinge to everything, and I love it. I don't know. And it's uncomfortable as hell, but I enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, they definitely pull out all the tricks in the book for this one. Like all the supernatural tomfoolery is on display. It wastes no time getting started. It's not subtle, and as I love to say, there's no such thing as trying too hard. And this movie is trying very, very hard to entertain and also disturb. Wonderful. Things I don't like, the pacing, as we talked about, goes to hell. It's like, I would love to take out all of the arrest stuff, and if we had to keep that running time just a little bit longer before Sonny kills everybody. Just a little bit more build up, just so it explodes with tension, and then boom, things happen and he's being exorcised instead of all the bullshit of the courtroom. Forget the courtroom. I think they only wanted to do that because of the books. I can't imagine any other reason for doing that shit.
Make it 95 minutes and put all the the shit in the basement you talked about that we didn't see in the movie, back in the movie again.
Yeah. I'm frustrated by the weird restraint. Maybe they didn't think those shots looked good, but the little slivers of moments that are in the trailer that you can see of those ghosts surrounding the priest, they're awesome. So I don't like the incest, but I seriously, I would not take it out of this movie. It's just, like you said, it's too insane. It's just so crazy. Yeah, I would say just if you haven't gotten to this one yet, folks, go back for it. Because I liked the original. I know a lot of people think it sucks. It's so funny how that movie was the biggest thing to hit theaters. That was a huge hit. And then ever since then, people have just been hating on the original Amityville. I don't know.
What are the weaknesses? What are the weaknesses for the first Amityville for me is the big moment one of the big moments of peril in the movie is when he loses the catering money. I'm like, why is this a big moment of this movie? Yeah,
Oh my god, I forgot. See, all I remember is spoiler alert, he goes back for the dog. Like,
yes.
That moment glosses over any problems I have with that movie, is that they go back for the fucking dog.
This is going to ruin our reputation with this catering company forever and ever,
Hey, that should have been the new Amityville sequel, like Amityville 6, The Caterers. The sequels I've seen, I remember seeing Amityville 3D when I was a kid, and I remember being let down because the VHS tape scared me so bad there's a demon that's coming out of the water, out of the weird glowing water on the back of that tape, I think, and that freaked me out. When I finally saw the movie, I was like, oh.
It's a great cover for 3D. The claw coming out of the house thing, yeah.
I know I like the Amityville time travel movie, but then there's this whole thing of, I was having a conversation with somebody at Viper Video, and he's like, yeah, we're watching the Amityville movies. We didn't get very far. And I was like, oh man, I love the frickin' Amityville movies. I started talking about, Amityville Dollhouse. He's like, oh no. We're watching all the direct to Tubi Amityville horror movies. And I was like, oh, good luck.
I think that one producing team is making all of these Amityville movies. If I'm not incorrect about this new crop of, Amityville Karen and Amityville Junkyard, Amityville Poorhouse. I don't know what they're making now, but
Amityville Backpack.
Yeah.
That's a real thing that came out this year. Amityville Backpack.
See, now they made a Dora the Explorer movie, Amityville Backpack, and Backpack came alive and just started destroying people alive, so it's already possessed.
Amityville Backpack has 25 producers on it because they probably did a GoFundMe where you could be a producer if you gave a certain amount of money. It's so cute.
Somebody gave money to that too. Come on now,
Art is art. We can't judge it. So before I let you escape my excrement vault in my basement, I always ask my co-hosts to talk about a recently seen and loved film. It can be an old favorite, or it can be something you just watched for the first time. Gary, what do you got?
I have been watching a lot of new stuff, new stuff. I've been watching a lot of, since we recently lost Mr. Corman, and then 98 years old. He'll live forever.
Yeah.
Been watching a lot of stuff of his produced stuff and directed stuff that I haven't seen. It's like I watched The Pendulum, which wasn't the best thing I watched all week, but I never really was attracted to the Poe stuff, that he made, because even now I love Vincent Price being silly. So I love comedy of terrors. I love stupid shit. I love stupid shit like Dr. Goldfoot and the Girl Bombs. It's really silly. But yeah, I never watched the serious stuff because it really was attracted to it all much. But recently, I watched that, and I watched the Ronnie Howard car chase double feature of Eat My Dust and Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, nice.
Both very fun in the Hicksploitation genre. He took that ball and ran with that, didn't he? The Hicksploitation genre.
Yes, he did.
He made a bunch of them. I watched if you love Angie Dickinson, I watched Big Bad Mama, and she gets fully nude in that movie. So that's worth watching that movie for that reason. That's nice. But yeah, just a bunch of Corman stuff that I haven't seen, and it's been a lot more hits than misses. So there's that, and nothing really new. I have stuff to watch, but I haven't watched it yet.
Before he passed away, 2 weeks ago, I watched Hollywood Boulevard that he did, and basically let Joe Dante and Alan Arkush just make this crazy ass movie, and it was really good. It's got, of course, it's got Mary Warnoff, Paul Bartel, Dick Miller's in it. It's just awesome. It had a rape joke that they doubled down on really hard, and I was like, "Yowza! Holy shit!" It was a little rough, but the rest of the movie was really good.
It's weird sometimes you watch older stuff. I want to do this whole surfer-exploitation series of shows. So I watched a film called The Sweet Ride, which is about bohemian surfers in California. And one of them is played by Bob Denver, who was Gilligan from Gilligan's Island and was on Dobie Gillis. And there's a whole Nam subplot where it was to take place during the time where they're really getting drafted, where he goes to the office as a gay person to try to get out of it.
Oh no.
They were asking back in those days.
Yeah, they were.
So yeah. Stuff like that, I can see why it would be uncomfortable now. But yeah, it was this thing back in those days.
But the movie that I watched that's recently seen and loved is a little movie, of course, from Italy called Alien from the Deep. And this is from Antonio Margheriti. So it's got cool miniatures, and it's got this crazy alien ripoff. So they wanted to rip off Alien, but they're like, how do we do it different? So they made the alien like 20 feet tall in one scene. So it's really funny. Charles Napier. Charles Napier is in it.
Nice.
So he must have been fucking confused. Like, what am I doing here?
We need angry Lieutenant Number 1. Charles Napier, you're the guy. You know.
It's got Luciano Pagazzi in his beardo phase. So he just looks like he just like woke up, went to the bar, slammed a few drinks, then got on set. Like, it's so fun. Love an Alien ripoff that's just so late to the game. Because, of course, you know, the Aliens was out, but this was like, it's just pathetic. Most of the alien we see is a giant claw, and you'll see that on the poster. It's always this big claw smashing through everything. That's the only, like, truth in the poster is that claw coming for you. It's so bad.
Yeah, I love Creature Feature Keeps It Real. I love the giant claw for that reason, from like 1957. Because it's just a big stupid marionette flying around the whole time, you know? And they did that. Yes. I love stuff like that. You can see the strings. It's awesome, you know?
Is that the one that looks like a big turkey?
I think so. Or like a big, like, vulture type big winged creature.
Yeah, that's what, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted vulture, and I see turkey, you know?
A turkey / vulture, it's fine, you know? It works.
Well, ducks are the horniest bird, so I'm not surprised that we don't have, like, half vulture ducks or whatever. So the possibility of a half turkey vulture it's right there. It's whichever animal gets hornier, we're going to have it.
Well, that explains the New York Ripper and Sonny's behavior. You get possessed by a duck person. Possibly the New York Ripper.
Oh.
I don't know. You know.
I love revisiting New York Ripper, and that duck shit never gets better. I wouldn't take it out. I wouldn't want it to not be there, but it never gets any better. It never goes down any easier. Oh man, Gary, thank you for hanging out, dude.
I thank you, my friend, for this opportunity. It's amazing to talk to you.
Hell yeah. How can the people find you out in the world?
Well, the easiest way is to go to your local podcatcher and go look for The Butcher Shop on there and subscribe, and everything I have will be there. Or go to legionpodcast.com and click on Cinema Beef or 2 Drink Minimum commentaries. Check it out there. Check out other shows like Richard's show. And yeah. And Kevin's been doing something cool. Our Lord and Master Legion podcast, where he's been putting the old video 2 Drink Minimums on the Patreon, you know, for your watching pleasure to watch the film with us, you know, illegally or whatnot, but it is what it is. They're there for you to watch with us. Tenacious D, the Pick of Destiny episode, which I watched part of. We Richard were talking about the air about listening to yourself on a podcast, but it's terrible, but it's all good memories. So I watched bits and pieces of this commentary with the video, and it was very fun, and me and X get along very well. He's on there, so yeah. Nice. You're $2 a month at Legion Patreon. It'd be very much appreciated.
Exactly. Support Legion podcasts. They give and we give and we give. So give a little back so we can keep the frickin' lights on over there.
But not too much, because Sonny gives too much to his sister. Just too much, you know.
Folks, if you ever find yourself in a haunted house, it might be the interiors of a house in Mexico, and you're being directed by an Italian who is going to make you work with a bunch of Americans because an Austrian guy wrote about the Amityville house. It's very confusing. I didn't even mention that they filmed all the interiors of the house were filmed in Mexico.
There's just so many flavors, Richard. So many flavors.
I'm so confused. All right, folks. Talk to you later. Bye. Folks, thanks so much for listening to this episode. If you'd like to write into the show, send an email to doomedmoviethon@gmail.com or hit us up at doomedmoviethon on Instagram or at doomedmoviethon on Twitter or at Doomed Moviethon at Discord, or go to Hello This Is the Doomed Show on Facebook and message us there. If you want more Hello This Is the Doomed Show, go to doomedmoviethon.com and click the podcast button for the archive, or go to YouTube and look up Doomed Moviethon and you'll find the classic episodes of Hello This Is the Doomed Show. And if that's still not enough, I have written some books, about my love of movies over on Amazon.com. Just look up Richard Glenn Schmidt and you'll find Giallo Meltdown, a Moviethon Diary, Giallo Meltdown 2, Cinema Somnambulist, or Doomed Moviethon, the book. Hello, This is the Doomed Show is a proud member of the Legion Podcast Network. Go to legionpodcast.com and check out the other great shows over there.